Hey, I'm Richard Doherty, CEO and founder of Scale Up Consulting and author of Unlock Hidden Profit Zones. We're back here upstairs at the Amsterdam Fintech Week, and we're talking to Maria Andres. And we're going to be chatting about some interesting stuff, right? We all know that crypto is something that's not sure we're here to stay. But we also know that designing good UX in the fintech space is extremely important for a good user experience. So we're going to be chatting about that with the guys now. And let me kick it off with Andreas. Crypto's out there, right? We know it's out there. But what do you think are the main and the top challenges for users outside of this room and outside of the financial services bubble for them to adopt and really start using and playing with crypto?
Okay, I think one of the biggest challenges that the users would see something as in crypto than gambling or so like to make like extreme profit, and most of the users are just buying crypto because of that, because they have a neighbor who made I don't know a huge profit on that and they want to repeat it. So I think it's a big challenge that people would see further, so they would see the other cases. And I think it's also important when you are designing crypto solutions that you would understand what are the people's fears regarding using crypto, that the access will be stolen easily, or they send it to the wrong address, or whatever, or I just buy it and tomorrow it will worth half. So if you understand these fears better, I think for everyday use, you have to really address these fears and to give good answers, either in communication or with features.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, especially on the side when you're talking about a good user experience, right? And to bring Maria in, I mean, I know you're doing some brilliant work around the space, but if what do you think are the top benefits, the top 5 benefits? Let's say the top 5 benefits of really going through that user journey and understanding what the user wants, how they want it, what exactly part of the app that you should have buttons, etc. How how does creating and developing a good user interface or a good UX benefit the consumer?
So basically, I think one of the main benefits of having a discovery phase, as we call it in the product development, is to understand exactly the needs and the expectations in terms of a certain product. And though we have, as designers, we have our own mindset and we know like what is the main foundation to build a product, but we should have initially we should have a kind of a data analysis of what's going on and what are the expectations of the potential users. And based on the data what we get, how we can define features, how we can prioritize features that application needs, and how we can start to create flows and to build up the key flows, like the end-to-end journeys for those specific features. And this goes, hand in hand with having a proper discovery define phase. So many of the, stakeholders, like business department guys, they want to skip this part and they want to jump into the design part. And they have sometimes the belief that if two people agree on something, then it means the whole board is agreeing on that, which is which is a bit off, I think, to put it mildly. So once we have, a foundation that we have like the user needs and the expectations, and we are also thinking like when we talk about the product, we are talking about the long term. So the product, the development cycle, what is happening to the product, what is the scope of ambition within 6 months, within 1 year. And then once we have listed down all those needs and all those features which are supporting the tasks in order to fulfill your needs, then we have a clear path of what's going on. and what we need to design. And I think that's one of the fundamental parts, because you feel the return on investment happening quite shortly. So like you get tangible results out of having a, let's say, an application which is containing multiple fundamental features that the user needs to do, and that's like a strong foundation to be able to move forward. So that's one of the key aspects, in my opinion.
And that process that you go through, because it is, there's a lot of analysis, there's not a lot of thinking, there's a lot of testing, there's a lot of iteration, right? If we look at the end consumer, and finally this product lands up in our lap, what do you think? What's the main outcome that you want when the product's done, completed? How do you want the consumer to feel as they interact with this new experience?
That's a very good question. Personally, like from a professional standpoint of view, I would like the consumer to have a good experience, and to have those kind of delighters or unexpected, learnings within the app, and without pushing or emphasizing on it too much, but it comes naturally that you are perhaps, I don't know, doing a transaction, and you get like some kind of a gamification element out of it, that for instance, if you have two of more of these transactions, then that will happen. So some kind of a memorable experience while you are doing your routine, like while you are paying, while you are doing your mobile banking activities, that it stays with you, and then you want to come back to that application, and you are looking forward to see like what's coming more, like what they're up to, what kind of features are they going to develop. So that for me is like a kind of a key, like expectation, or key, like that I would see the users happy and content, and they just want to come back for more.
Having a happy user, it's like a saying. I shouldn't say this. My wife must not listen to this. Happy wife, happy life. Happy user, is going to come back. They're going to come back. It's a benefit, right? A benefit of good UX design is having happy users. They come back, they use the app, they continue to maybe spread the word, they refer to their friends, and the experience is great. I mean, other than that, what else, Andreas, do you think is a benefit of having good UX design?
Like when we are making a UX design, usually we try to adjust it to understand the business needs as well. So what are your KPIs or OKRs, what you want to achieve? So it's, for example, that like increase number of returning customers. This is the answer, but you can have several other goals as well, that like to increase the revenue through the users. So you don't want to make them happier, but you want to make them pay more. Of course, these are usually hand in hand, so it's hard to detach, but there are some cases when you can have it. And also it's important to understand what are your right goals, because sometimes they want the users to spend more time with the application, but in some cases there's a good experience when you spend less time with the application because it works fine. So it's really important to understand what are the right goals and to align the experience according to that. So for example, if you are designing an internal banking interface, in that case, like speed and low error rate is more important in some cases than the fantastic, memorable experience. But if it's very bad and it's just quick, the people will quit. So you have to balance between the goals as well.
Guys, I mean, as we start wrapping up this segment, and we start looking forward to the end of Q4, the end of 2022, and look into the future, into 2023, what do you think? What are the top 3 opportunities that fintech leaders out there need to be need to be thinking about, need to be curious about as we move into a new year and in a growth year?
We have to be very kind of realistic, but at the same time futuristic. So if you want to keep up, with the market and all the trends that coming in, we have to have a kind of a strategy, like how we can keep our product in that level. And I think that's the key challenge, like how to start to have a good, fintech or payment product in 2023, because how we have to have like I think a continuous strategy to do UX research to get as much insights what we can from the users, and to be able to design or to define like innovative concepts that they are they are that wow feeling, and they are basically keeping the product in that level that they should be in terms of tangible like methods. I think voice would be something that could be more like voice design, and conversational design could be integrated more into fintech and banking, though there are some restrictions in terms of security and compliance. But on the other hand, that could be a very innovative kind of addition to top off with already existing product, in my opinion.
I think I see several trends, so I cannot even mention all of them, but I think they are more longer trends, so not just influencing the next year, but they will have an impact in the next 5-10 years. Like what Maria mentioned, the voice design, I think I see it also coming, and it's a kind of component of an upcoming bigger trend to make digital application more humanistic or more personal, so more adaptable to our needs, and that we would feel more like the human touch of that softness, what we don't feel anymore because we don't go to the branches or we don't meet any banking employees who can be nice to us or who can give us good advice. And also I think that we are talking a lot about different insertion like embedded finance, but I think embedded education, it's an important thing that the users, they would learn and improve their financial knowledge through using our solutions. So I think it's a very important case, and it relates to one more topic that I think investment will come up in that case, that hopefully we will have a better year next year. At least we have a bottom from to start. So like, just there is, hopefully there will be just room to go up. And I think during COVID, a lot of people started to deal with investment, but they were more like the approach like sports betting or gambling. And probably there is a new era when people, they can start to invest in a more careful way, but still keeping the fun factor, because investment is probably the most fun factor of finances, of course, if it's going or if it's going well. So I think that could be like an interesting thing. So it's much more interesting to invest in stocks and learn and understand than just to pay the bills. That will never be sexy. This could be, I think it's also the trend also that we have to differentiate that, like, what is the right level of engagement? Because in some cases, the zero level of engagement is the best. It's just seamless, it works. And in some cases, more playful, more interesting, deeper. It really depends.
Yeah. Brilliant. I think that's a wrap, guys. And thanks so much for joining us upstairs at Amsterdam Fintech Week. And looking forward to the rest of the day.